YouTube, it's Bergie, and I feel like a 50s housewife because I am baking in a floral dress, but that is not important. I'm here to talk about the fifth wave. And before I start anything, I'm just going to say, I had recorded my review for this this is my third time. And if this was a different book series, I swear I would be done. I would just be screw it. It obviously does not want to be made, but I love this book so much. So I powered through and I'm making another video. Okay, first things first. This book is gonna be, I'm calling it already, it's gonna be my favorite book of 2015. Now you might be saying to yourself, Bergie, it's only July. How can you be so sure that this is gonna be your favorite book of the year? I'll tell you that I am positive that this is going to be my favorite book because it just had such a unique plot, it's greatly written, and it has such amazing characters, which I'll get into later. And I also want to say right now, before anybody leaves, because I think I'm going to have spoilers, I'm not going to have spoilers. I'm going to make this a spoiler-free video, which is the first I've done. I'm not going to go into detail because I really want people to read this book and go in not knowing really anything. So yeah, in this, you feel the urgency and the sense of danger of the situation the second you start reading, so you do not put it down at all. I literally kept it in my hands for like 24 hours. I finished this in a day, let me just say, and I haven't done that in years, let alone with a book this size. It has 656 pages, I think. So yeah, there's a lot of pages, and I read it in like less than 24 hours. So that was quite a feat, and I haven't done it for years, and I miss that feeling because, I don't know, that feeling of reading a book and not being able to put it down is just great. It's why I love to read, because it literally brings you in to the book, and it feels like you're in it, and you escape reality and all that jazz, and that's always a good thing. Oh, I was wrong. There's only 457 pages. Wow. Still quite a lot. It looks like a lot. It looks more than 400. Oh, anyway, that's beside the point. And honestly, this book is for everybody. Lately, I haven't been reading a lot of books that kind of have every kind of subject or like genre that anybody really could like, but this has mystery, action, love, suspense. It's kind of science fiction-y, I think. I'm not going to tell you why, because you have to find out for yourself, but it does. And then it makes you feel a lot of emotions, which I think a good book has to make you do. Like, I wanted to laugh, and literally in the same sentence I was like crying and laughing, and it did not turn out well in those instances, because laughing and crying is not a good mix for me. I won't go into more detail about that. And then also makes you angry. Like, there were some parts I was literally about to throw the book against the wall. Not because I hated it, but because I was so involved in what was happening that I got angry, and it just wasn't a good thing. And then you also feel hope that things are going to turn out well, which I still don't know how it's going to end up. In this book, it literally blew my mind. I mean, it's not that hard for me to get my mind blown. I can honestly just like see a butterfly outside and be like blown away by how it's flying. That's a really bad example, but it's kind of how easily mind blown I can get. But with this, like, even though I was comprehending everything that was going on, I knew I could follow the storyline easily. I wasn't really thinking. Of course, in your subconscious, you're thinking because you're processing what you're reading. But, like, I was in the moment, not really thinking about anything else. And I think that's a really good aspect. That's what makes a book great. So that's another positive thing about this book. And it's like a heart-thumping feeling. I can't really describe the feeling of not thinking but then processing at the same time, so you're understanding what's happening but then you're not really thinking. But anybody who's read a really good book and fell in love with a good book, you probably know what I'm saying, and my words don't do that feeling justice. So more into the bookish part of it. This book is broken into 13 parts, and each part has 1 out of 4 points of views. 3 of them are written in the same perspective, and what I really love that Yancey did is for the 4th one, which is by a 5-year-old boy, so it's a younger character. The other 3, they're in between 16 and 19, so they're older. But Yancey decides to change the point of view for the younger character, or the younger narrator. Well, I guess he's not really narrating, but he's the focus of that part. And he changes the point of view from first person, which is what is used for the other 3 narrators, into third person, and I just love that. I know it's such a small detail, but it's just so great, because what I believe why he's doing it is because a 5-year-old can't properly like analyze or take in what's happening, especially within this book, because this book, like I said, it has suspense, mystery, action, and all that stuff, so of course it's going to be like hard situations and difficult situations and bad situations and that kind of stuff. So a 5-year-old probably wouldn't be able to understand completely what was going on. So that's why he brings in like an out-of-book narrator to narrate what is going on and give us the feelings. And I just love that. It's just so great, because I mean, a 5-year-old wouldn't comprehend what's going on in that kind of situation. He wouldn't be able to make us feel the emotions that we should be feeling, I don't think. And because Rick Yancey writes it in third person point of view, we're able to feel those feelings that we are supposed to feel. But then I think it also heightens it because it's a 5-year-old, it's focused on a 5-year-old, and it kind of shows that a 5-year-old can't really comprehend, again, what is going on. So that was just a nice small detail that I just loved, and I really like that Rick Yancey did that, so that was great. The title is obviously The 5th Wave, and obviously if there's a 5th wave, you'd think that there would be 4 before it, and that is true. In the beginning of the book, there is a page that gives what each wave is. Now, without knowing what's going on, it's not going to spoil anything for you, because I mean, it's giving on the first page. And just before I say anything about that, this book, or at least the copy I have, does not have a little synopsis on the back, so I basically went in blind. The only reason I knew it was going to be a good book is because Rick Riordan, I think, recommended it in one of his, like, either Twitter things or it was on his page or something. So I was like, oh, if Rick Riordan likes it, obviously this book is going to be good. And I mean, I was correct in thinking that, because this book is amazing. But yeah, so there's no synopsis. That's why I'm also not doing any spoilers, because I believe going in blind is a big part. Yeah, like I was saying, going in blind is a big part of this book. It helps with the urgency and all that kind of stuff, because you don't know what's going on, you just know that it's bad. So as I was saying with the different waves, the first wave is Lights Out, then there is Surf's Up, then Pestilence, then Silencer. I'm not going to describe what each one is. We're just putting those out there because that's all that's given. So that being said, we are expecting a 5th wave because it is titled The 5th Wave. But we don't really find out what it is until one of the narrators, Cassie, she finds out. She kind of puts it together. And so do the other characters, but it's mostly Cassie, I think, where you really find out what the 5th wave is. And that's not until like the last few parts. Each wave is like a mission. So obviously you would expect there would be something behind each wave or mission. Not going into who that is, but it kind of falls into the dystopian genre. It kind of is where there is an upper class people who has all the power and all the money and all that kind of stuff, and then a lower class group of people who are basically being suppressed and that kind of stuff. However, in most dystopian novels, it is the government against regular, normal people. That is not the case in this book, and I think this was why it might not be necessarily classified as a dystopian novel, but they do share some similarities. That is prevalent in the fifth wave. It's just not how you would expect it to play out. And I think that's right, because lately we've been getting a whole bunch of copycat dystopian novels where basically everything's the same except for they change the place, they tweak the names a bit, they tweak who the bad guys are, and little things like that. So it's basically the same plot line. This book does it really well. It's, like I said, very unique. So now I'm gonna go into character stuff, but again, not gonna display any big plot information or any spoilers like that. I'm just giving the little stuff that'll hopefully make you read the book, because I think it is great. I've said it 20 million times in this video alone. First is Cassie, and let me tell you, she is me in literature form. And I know a lot of people say that. They're like, oh, I'm Hermione or I'm Annabeth. Those are usually the two that I like to say, even though I'm not really either. I'm closer to Annabeth a little bit, but like I am literally Cassie in human form, like real life form. I'm Cassie. And there are a number of reasons why I say that. It's not just personality-wise, which I'll get that into a little bit. She has freckles and blonde hair. So do I. Right now my hair is looking a bit dark, but it is blonde. And anyone who says otherwise, no, don't go there, because I'm very, I don't know, I guess sensitive. I was born with blonde hair. I continue to have blonde hair. Even though it's not as light as it was when I was younger, I still have blonde hair. But yeah, so she has blonde hair and freckles. And I think that was the only description. The only thing that kind of is different between her and me is that she's a total badass. But I would like to say I could potentially be a badass if I was in her situation. I would never know, because I'm hoping that that will never happen. But I think if somehow it did, I might have some potential. I don't know, I think I have the potential to be as badass as Cassie is. I'd like to think that she makes a lot of pop culture references. And I don't know if you caught it in the beginning of this video, but I actually made a movie reference. If you did, I'll give you a high five and like a little shout out in the next video I make. But I did make a reference there. It might be obscure, which most of my movie references at least are obscure, like movies that people probably don't even know exist. But I make a lot of references to the point where my family and closest friends roll their eyes and wish to smack me. Because literally every other sentence out of my mouth is some kind of pop culture reference, whether it be movie, which is usually the case, book, song. I guess that's really all any references could be. But yeah, she makes a couple and I'm just like, yes, this is perfect. She's also book loving, and obviously I'm making reviews of books, so I think that says how much I like books. If not, I like them a lot. And these next two things, they're not really big important stuff, but we both share these feelings on some level, and I think it's great because it makes me feel like I'm not alone, even though I'm sharing it with a fictional character. I still feel happy that someone else knows my pain. One thing is, she has no problem talking about sex. I'm a total perv. I can talk about sex whenever, except when it's aimed towards me, and she's the same way. The second it's like the sex talk or whatever is about her or it's made personal, she can't deal. Neither can I. I will run screaming if anyone makes a sexual remark aimed towards me. Not just like a joke, like, oh, but if they actually mean it, I will be like, nope, can't do that. I can laugh. I'm like a little boy, a teenage boy, prepubescent boy who just thinks penis jokes are funny. And anything more than that, I'm just like, And then the second thing, which is kind of embarrassing for me to say, but I mean, I'm over it now, so it's It's fine. She has had a crush on a guy for years but did nothing about it. And I was the same way, and it was not good at all, and I've learned from it. And she does as well, although in the end it kind of gets more complicated for her than it ever has been with me. So I'm happy in that respect that I'm not exactly like her. So yeah, that's enough with Cassie. She's just basically a more extreme version of me, which I like. The next character is Evan Walker. I'm not going to talk much about him because I feel like that would be spoilering. A spoiler. He's very shy, passive, mysterious, and strong. And he kind of reminds me of like a young Dean Winchester, like season 1 Dean Winchester, and that's that image of how I picture Evan Walker is what makes it okay for Cassie's thoughts towards him. Because I mean, young season 1 Dean Winchester is attractive. I mean, season 10 Dean Winchester is attractive as well. But yeah, just that's how I picture him, and I like, even if it's not exactly how he's described, that's how I picture him to be okay with Evan Walker. Then is Ben Parrish, who was the subject of Cassie's long-ass crush. He goes by a different name in the book, won't tell you what, but he does. When I first heard the perspective, like his perspective, it didn't say it was Ben, but I knew. I was like, oh, I knew it. Cassie's crush lived, and yeah, he's gonna be important because he has a narrative part in this book. And in the beginning, he was quite the douchebag. He was like the classic jock who is just all high and mighty and thinks he can control people with his dashing smile. And I mean, it works, I guess, so I can't really say anything about that. But he grows out of that mostly. Which I guess it's understandable, because I mean, once you act like something for so long, it's kind of hard to shake it, even if it is a bad quality. And then there is Sam, which is the 5-year-old who has a perspective. And let me tell you, he's extremely smart for his age and tough for his age. Like, honestly, this stuff he's been through, I don't even think I could handle it as well as him. Yeah, I'd like to think I'd be a total badass as Cassie, but I'd probably, I don't know. I feel I could potentially just have like a super quick meltdown, or I could be badass and just hide those feelings inside. I don't know. It's just the way he deals with everything. He's just an amazing 5-year-old character. And the thing is, it's not like it's improbable how he acts. Like, it's not completely out of character for him to be as smart as he is. But yeah, I think that's everything. I hope you have enjoyed this review. If you have not read the book, I hope you go and pick it up now, because, oh my goodness, this book was just amazing. I'll say it for like the last time. This book right here is amazing. And it's going to be a movie, and hopefully they don't screw that up. But, oh my god, this book was just great. Please, if you listen to me only once, listen to me now. Read this book. So I think I had something else I wanted to say, but it just flew out of my mind. So I think that's it then. So, please, I remember now. If you have read the book, please let me know what your favorite part of the book, or if you liked it as much as I think I've conveyed how much I like it. So yeah, and if you caught the pop culture reference in the first, within the first 5 minutes of this, let me know and I will give you a high five in my next video I make. And you know, everybody wants a high five from Bergie. They could pass as currency. I think I'm stretching this a little too far. So I'm gonna go now. So I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe, like, share, all that cool stuff, and I'll see you next time.